chapter 20 to the end. Lulu couldn't wait to read the next clue, which went like this: open the striped curtain, raise the wooden blind, close the window all the way, and maybe you will find what you are looking for. There was only one room in the house with a striped curtain and wooden blind, and that was the bathroom next to Lulu's bedroom. And sure enough, when she opened and raised and closed, as she'd been instructed, there was a note card taped onto the window. Unfortunately, the note card said, yes, maybe you will find it, and maybe you won't. Under that message in smaller print was another message. So what do you think? Is it under the sink? Lulu looked under the bathroom sink where she found another message. No, it isn't. Obviously, Ms. Zielinski was messing with her, speaking out loud in the empty room. A disgusted Lulu announced, I am not amused. Below that message, however, was what seemed like a serious clue, a clue that Lulu was finding hard to read. She was finding it hard to read and even harder to understand because her eyes kept closing with exhaustion. It said, in the living room, cleverly hidden, is the very last clue I have written, leading you directly to your goal. You must rhyme what you need to find first, with the opposite of worst, on top of which is a thing that rhymes with whole. And that thing that is rhyming with whole, as well as with pole and with roll, is filled with things you can reach your hand in and take. But although all these things rhyme with cute and boot, suit, toot, and loot, the one that you are looking for is a fake. Lulu didn't think much of a poem that had the utter nerve to rhyme written and hidden, but by now she was so sleepy that she couldn't think about anything but sleep. I need to go to bed. I have to get some sleep. I'll get some sleep, and I'll wake up real early tomorrow. And before I even eat breakfast, I'll figure this out. Poor girl's so tired. Early on Friday morning, however, nothing got figured out. Lulu was still too sleepy and too fuzzy-headed, besides which this clue was really, really hard. Maybe some of you don't think it's hard, in which case, smarty pants, step right up and give us the answer right now. As for the rest of you, feel free to read on. Anyway, it was not until late in the morning, while Lulu was learning state capitals in her geography class, that chest, which rhymes with best, which is the opposite of worst, and bowl, which rhymes with hole and pull and roll, all of a sudden popped into her brain, along with fruit, which rhymes with cute, plus boot, suit, toot, and loot. Then she had to wait for over 4 more maddening hours until at last school was over and she could go home and reach her hand down till she found among the real fruit in the bowl on the living room chest an apple that was definitely fake, and read the clue that was hidden inside the fake apple and followed that final clue to what she was looking for. It said, search no more, search no more. It's inside the chest in the bottom drawer. And it was. There's the apple with the clue. Chapter 21. While Lulu was busy searching, Ms. Zielinski watched and waited, not saying a single word till Lulu plucked from that bottom drawer a silver disc that hung from a silver chain and upon which were boldly inscribed the letters M.M. Then, standing at her tallest and straightest, Ms. Zielinski declared, mission accomplished, after which she carefully clasped the chain with its gleaming disc around Lulu's neck. This disc, she said, hereby certifies that you have completed your first mysterious mission. By hearty congratulations, Double L. Lulu was almost fainting, this time with joy. You're giving me a code name? I've got my very own code name. From now on, everyone will call me Double L. I'm afraid I must remind you, Ms. Zielinski coldly replied, that this is what's known as a covert operation, and covert means secret, undercover, hush hush. You may not tell anyone, unless they're a fellow spy, your code name or that you're being trained in spycraft. And you'll need to remove that disc from your neck before anybody sees it and put it away where nobody ever will. But Lulu was now in her most impossible give me what I want mode, meaning that she was being a pain in the bottom. I hate this! I hate this a lot! I really hate this, she said. I want to wear my silver disc. I want to be called Double L. What's the point of being a spy if you can't tell Mabel and Fleshman? and all the kids at school, and Harry Potter. She meant the other Harry Potter. And my mom and my dad and Mr. B and everyone. Ms. Zelinsky began unclasping Lulu's silver chain. "Well, we'll do it my way, or I take back your disc. Furthermore, I'll deny whatever you say about me or you being a spy. I'll swear that you're making it up, that you're telling lies, that you're imagining things. And I'll say it so many times that very soon your reputation will be dog poop." Miss Zelinsky looked at her watch. "Your parents will be here in a couple of hours. You'd better decide what you're going to do." There was a heavy silence in the room. Lulu silently stared at Ms. Zelinsky. Ms. Zelinsky silently stared back. 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes went by before they even started talking, and it wasn't until a few seconds before Lulu's mom and her dad were due home that Lulu and Ms. Zelinsky cut a deal. Lulu, much as she hated it, swore never to mention her spy training or her code name and promised to hide her desk in a safe place. Ms. Zelinsky swore to train Lulu in spycraft whenever Lulu's mom and her dad went away. She also solemnly promised that when Lulu grew up and applied for a job as a spy, she'd write a letter saying nice things about her, unless Lulu didn't deserve having nice things said about her, or unless Lulu changed her mind and decided she'd rather be President of the United States. But then Lulu's parents came home and almost ruined everything. Rushing through the door and dropping their suitcases on the floor, they threw their arms around Lulu and started sobbing. "My precious, my darling, my treasure," wailed her weeping mom. "We miss you so very much. We hardly could stand it." "Oh, pumpkin, oh, sweet pea," her dad said, hugging her tight and soaking her shoulder with his hot tears. "It was awful being without you. We will never, never, ever do this again." Lulu was instantly on alert. "Do what again?" she demanded. Her parents answered together. "We will never go away without you. Never." Lulu was shocked beyond shocked. This was a nightmare, a disaster, a catastrophe. She felt that she was about to lose her mind. How would Ms. Zelinsky be able to train her to be a spy if her parents were never going to leave her? "You have to. You've got to. You need to take more vacations," Lulu shouted. Here are her parents. "They'll never leave you." "You need some private grown-ups only time. You've got to go away a lot, and I will be just fine being babysat by darling Miss Zelinsky." Lulu was now jumping up and down, and although it wasn't a tantrum, it was close, shouting, "Go! You have to go! Go, go, go!" Lulu's mom and her dad were dazed and perplexed and completely confused and full of questions. What was going on here? What was she saying? Why was she acting in this peculiar way? Hadn't she only a week ago carried on most unpleasantly when they told her that they were going away without her? So why was she now insisting that she wanted them to go away without her? "Lulu, sweetie," her mom began. "Lulu, honey," her dad began. "What's gotten into you?" they asked together. And Lulu, looking first at her mom and then her dad, replied, "I guess I'm just an extremely difficult child." Chapter 22. You won't be surprised to hear that after at least an hour of quite intense discussion, Lulu, as she so often did, got her way. That meant persuading her mom and her dad, though they swore they would miss her to pieces, to go off on lots of trips and vacations without her. It also meant making them promise that whenever they left town, they'd put her in the care of Ms. Zelinsky, who, to their bewilderment, seemed to have won their daughter's undying affection, and who looked great in stiletto heels, loose hair, and a slinky blue dress. She only wore the uniform to intimidate extremely difficult kids. Was saying goodbye to everyone and rushing off for a date with Harry Potter. Look at Ms. Zelinsky and Harry Potter. He's got flowers for her. And so from that time on, Triple S came to stay several times a year, with Double L giving her lessons in spycraft, except when she needed to be disciplined for too much arguing and too little obeying. For Lulu, you won't be surprised to hear, continued to be difficult, though not as extremely as she used to be. And whenever she was handed a little toothbrush and a bucket of soapy water and told to scrub the steps in front of her house. What made Lulu keep being difficult was her absolute conviction that she was the greatest spy in training ever. And though no doubt about it, she was truly gifted and talented, she constantly got into trouble because she constantly wanted to do too much too soon, like trying to wreck, then restore and repair that tree by her bathroom window. Except that because Lulu's wrecking was so much better than her restoring, it required all of Ms. Zelinsky's spycraft skills to rescue the poor tree. Or like trying to disguise herself as a helicopter. It took Ms. Zelinsky less than 2 seconds to penetrate Lulu's disguise because most helicopters do not wear knee socks. Isn't that silly? Or like trying to hack, imagine the nerve, into Ms. Zelinsky's computer. Except that when she did, she found that every single item of information, including some personal emails from Harry Potter, had been transcribed into an unbreakable code. Or like trying to create a mysterious mission complete with clues for Ms. Zelinsky to figure out and follow, but Ms. Zelinsky figured them out almost as fast as she read them, except when she almost choked on the clue that Lulu had cut up into little pieces and mixed into her morning bean and beet omelet. After the B&B incident, Ms. Zelinsky spoke a few words to Lulu. She spoke in a slow and soft and most serious voice. You may be pretty good, double L, but you aren't, repeat, aren't good enough yet. Lulu hung her head and tried to look sincerely embarrassed. But let's be honest here, she wasn't embarrassed. In fact, she was feeling extremely proud of the stuff she had tried to do, even though it hadn't exactly worked out. In fact, she was feeling quite positive that even though she might not be good enough yet, she surely would be much more than good enough soon. However, she continued, in the interest of not making trouble, to hang her head. Miss Zelinsky, who knew very well how to tell a truly embarrassed girl from a fake one, gave Lulu an oh so understanding smile, after which she presented her, as she would for years to come, with a toothbrush and a bucket of soapy water. The end.